My name is Evie, Evidence, Dilated Peoples, live, Venice, California. Just my environment, pretty much. Growing up around Beach Street and Wild Style, the movies that were coming out, and seeing people breakdancing at the pier and Venice Beach and putting the connection together, realizing there was something bigger than just what was happening here. This was on movie screens. When you're a kid, your imagination's real vivid, so who wouldn't want to be living a movie? I was impressed because what I saw going on here was happening in the movie, and then when I came home, that was happening still. It wasn't like I just saw the movie and then left and then didn't see it in my environment. It was real around me. Venice Beach, Santa Monica Pier, those places, you could see people dancing. Graffiti was up. Sometimes MC it. But just a lot of the elements were attractive. I was a skateboarder at the time. I played baseball at the time. I didn't know I wanted to rap yet, but I knew that that's something I wanted to be around. I think just discovering my own music, saying, I like what my parents played, but this is something that I got now. So just maybe finding out about a tape and purchasing it, something like that was probably my earliest memories, or friends telling me about songs and hearing about them. Rushing home to watch TV raps, stuff like that. When that goes away, I'll stop doing it. As long as I'm inspired by something creative and I have the drive to do it, then I'll do it. Realizing it's a blessing and it pays bills and you can sustain a living off of it is a blessing, but you have to know how to handle that carefully. Alchemist is my good friend. I wake up, I go to the beach, smoke something, get on the bike, in my car, go over there. We make music, come back here, listen to more records. My day is pretty much primarily take a picture in between somewhere. My day is primarily involved around records, beats, watching hip-hop related type things, listening to it to and from and travel. I think when we were young in high school doing it, rushing home, ditching school to do it, the same energy is still alive in the studio when I go over there today. I don't know if it's because we still smoke weed or what it is, but yeah, I think we've held on to that pretty well. Plus, we're touring a lot. Dilated myself. I'm on Rhyme Players, so I'm connecting with a lot of fans and not just imagining what people would like, but seeing what's working and what's not, and then putting that into the memory bank. The energy is good. It's late right now. I've been up since 5:30 in the morning, so I might not seem animated, but when I step on the stage or get in my zone of what I'm doing, I'm very much just focused on that. I think originality is important for the long run. Mocking the style or finding out what's current will work for a time being, but you're always going to be chasing a formula. You'll always be second place to something that was always ahead of you. So it's not easy to come up with your own thing. I think a lot of the most original people have just taken a piece from here, something that they love from there, and they've, the same way we make a beat, we might take a drum from one place and a loop from another or whatever. It's like tapestry sometimes, or collage art. You're putting pieces together. So you might have a little Rakim in their style, a little KRS-One, or then they might have some new shit that they heard that they've updated it with, or whatever, and I think I fall off that tree. I'm inspired by a lot of different people, and I'm very influenced. It's no secret, but it's more gratifying to me when I try to block all that out and just do what comes to me from wherever it comes from. And that usually is a lot of, maybe sometimes over-pronunciating words or pronouncing a lot, slowing up the cadence sometimes speeding it up to show that I can. But I want to be heard, and I've been traveling all over the place, and a lot of places where English is not the first language that people speak, and they end up gravitating to what I might do more than a fast, like a machine gun type spitter, because they're hearing the rhythm in what they're doing, and that's impressive in itself. But when they can grasp a few words, then it means all the more. So I think, just wanting to have a message and wanting that to get across the best way I know how, just trying to pronounce and hit the beat right. That's my forte. A lot of passion goes into what I do when I write or perform or anything else. So that's about as much as I can ask for, and the people can ask for is just somebody using the best of their abilities instead of trying to take what other people do. And for a long time, I was trying to work out the thing where when I was young, I didn't have, my voice was high pitched, but I was hanging around people and listening to people who had deep voices, so I wanted to sound like that. So I was dropping my tone a lot in my first recordings, trying to sound deep. Then as I got older, it actually started to happen, so then I started to go up with it. the opposite. I've always been into countering what's natural. I think I finally got to the point where what I'm saying to you is pretty much the same. It's going to sound when I get on the stage, you know, or I'm in the booth. And that's been an accomplishment for me, something I've been wanting to do, to get to that point where I don't have to just actually be comfortable with who I am, for better or for worse. So when you make your first album, you don't have any fans. You don't have any. They don't exist. Or maybe you built up something, but before your first recording that people have heard you, whatever that is, you don't have them. So that's why people's first records are really dope, because they're not making music for other people yet. They don't know who those people are. Then you put out your record and you have success, and now people have gravitated to certain stuff that you do. So you make your second album, you start thinking about that. Well, this song did well, and this, and that, and you start making music for yourself, but start caring about other people or how it affected people. And I think it's good to do a little bit of that, but too much is what can cause a sophomore jinx or whatever, what have you. So I think you just block out what's going on. You just try to pretend you don't have those fans and try to just, you know, take it back to that original blueprint that you set out to do. Stay on that as much as you can. A lot of music, Step Brothers, Alchemist, and myself. Dilated People's first album in 6 years. Directors of photography. My next solo album, Rhymesayers. I have the title, I haven't announced it yet, but be good. Instrumental album coming out on Decon called Green Tape Instrumentals. Follow up to the yellow, red, and purple tapes that I've done. And production, got 2 joints on Sean Price album coming out, Mike Tyson. Work with a lot of work in my computer right now. I did a whole album for Elemental coming out called After the Fact, which is dope for me because I haven't produced a whole album since Planet Age and Medicine, where I got to do a whole record. So excited about that. And yeah, just look for me rambling on Twitter or taking pictures on Instagram in the meantime.